How's the daily? It's a good candle. Yeah. I would just honestly wait for the 80-22 tomorrow if I was going to push something on this. I am surprised of this, dude. Of utilities dropping. I was expecting utilities to do better here. Oof. Wow. I think they're going to have the same pattern as XLE here.
Utilities or?
Yeah, I mean, look, your energy has the same pattern. It had a nice up, broke the wedge, and retested this kind of like a breakout level.
The one that's
here's this one. Here's your break. Man, came all the way. Come on, what's going
on? Oh wow. XLB material.
What's going on here?
Peace chart.
So you see, he came back here, and now it's ready. Like over 71, utilities are going to go up, man. I don't see a reason for them to go down.
The ETFs look solid, bro, making higher lows, higher highs. Tomorrow's just fall through there. And some of them.
No, we didn't start yet, but let me just look at this real quick. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, this could go over 71.10. How did everyone do today? I mean, I saw a lot of green. I don't know why would anyone be red today. Today was a fairly easy day.
Oh yeah, it was. I even played SPX, bro.
Wow.
Page. Look at that.
Yeah, some of my SPX stuff went bananas today.
Yeah, if you have 40 puts and 42 calls, bro, you're gonna print either way.
Yeah, I had both. I had 42 and I did well on those today. I was pretty much done in the first 30 minutes or so. All right, let's start with SPX. We'll start with SPX and we'll go from there. Tomorrow, it would be very smart of them if they came back to retest this level here. Let me change this color to white. So if we retested this level here at 41.54 or a little bit maybe higher right there, and then what we typically do, so if you're not familiar with the volume profile, let me kind of give you a quick lesson on it for all the people that are new. If you're not familiar and never used volume profile, on SPX, volume profile is not really relevant because there's no shares being traded. It's a derivative off of SPY, right? So it really doesn't matter. If you guys are loading volume profile, for instance, in TV, it looks like this. On TOS, we provide the script to you so you can load it, and if you got better one, you're welcome to use it. And volume profile in TradingView, you guys see the highlighted area here? Does everybody see it? So if you look here, let me see, where is it? So this little area between here, oh, sorry, not that. Does everybody see this highlighted area, like right here? You guys see that? The volume is a little different color than the rest. So for newer people, I'm going to pick on you. Let's see, newer people, Angel Cuban. What does this mean? Why is this area highlighted?
That's where the most buying and selling goes down.
Okay, close enough. So the reason why this is highlighted is the 68% of all volume traded within a day. This is something that you can customize, right? So if you click on this, value area volume for me is usually set at 68. Does anyone know why 68? Catching Rockets can't answer.
One standard deviation.
That's correct. So I like to use, probabilities and math. So this is one standard deviation, basically for me on the volume, up and down, standard deviation off of the POC, and you kind of see that it's even on both sides. And then what I do when I look for demand zones, does anyone know or want to comment for the newer people? Why do we highlight the area around the POC. You cannot think of resistance or support as a single line. It never works. It never will. You're not to be perfect trader. You're to be probable trader, meaning that you find a high probable setup. You know, if I was to look at this area here for tomorrow, to me, this is perfect right here. This is going to be a nice demand area, demand zone, or supply zone if it dips, and so on for tomorrow. And same on the bottom. You see how this one has a little bit of a heavy shape here. It's really not the best setup. But for instance, here, when you look at this one is called V-shaped profile, meaning that there's going to be a lot of demand on this shape right here. So if we get a dip tomorrow, if we get a dip somewhere around here tomorrow, there's a high probability, what am I on, SPY, at 413 that we're going to get. Does anyone recall a level that I gave you today on SPY before, when it dropped, where it's going to bounce?
413.
It was 413.57, if I recall. Let me check.
Shorty, when you're doing the box, do you do? Because I heard Kitchen Rocket say before, it's like 50% of where the let's say the last B looking shape there. The box is 50% of the highlighted.
I look for even distribution around the POC. So here I'm able to see it. You know, you could probably go this way as well. Like you can make a shorter, smaller demand zone, and it fits well. You see here how it kind of, you know, if you look at the arrows wise, let me find the right arrow.
Right, what Angel's trying to say is like, if you take the volume shelf that's sticking out, I cut it in half. Yeah. And so anything that's within half of that is what I highlight. So
yeah, you can do that. I mean, you can do it many different ways. What I do is I find another distribution around it. I look for another approximate. I'm not measuring the deviation here. I'm looking for approximate deviation, right? If for you it looks like this is good, and then what you do, what I check is like, okay, well, how well was this respected? And I look to the right. I see, you know, here it did well. Here it did well. So for me, it's like, okay, well, maybe it's not as big. So I'll short it, and you know, you require patience then, right? And then here it goes, right? It broke below it. So if I was to go on, let's say 5 minutes, watch how it works. Let me just go into regular trading hours. So here's that, you know, demand zone. So we had it here, we broke it, and you see how when we went below it, we rejected it, right? We rejected it once, twice, and 3 times. The third time, it really, really suffered, and it went to the bottom almost, you know, filled the gap that we've had for, what, a year ago. But then it reclaimed it, and you see that it held it. And usually this is your, you know, this is your daily POC, so you wouldn't see the developing POC. But the day before, what do you guys call this right here? Does anyone know what the name is? So you have your POC here. What is this called right here?
A shelf?
It's called a shelf. It's called a mini POC, right? At one point, if you go back on, I don't know how to do it here or toss, but like when you play back and you figure out, you would see at one point that this was a POC.
You can click
if you look,
replay right there at the top, right next to alert. Right top, like middle of your screen. Right above where it tells you, yeah, and then just click on a candle. You know, like you want to click on the candles before it went down to where the actual POC was formed.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even know this works like that.
So now it's to the far right, the chart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see it now. Oh, that's a pretty cool feature, man.
Yeah.
I guess on demand does the same for.
Yeah, but definitely not as smooth.
I bet. Yeah, I mean, you guys know that I'm not a big fan of thoughts anymore. So am I live now? Is it back or?
Yeah, you're back to live. You're back to live. Yeah.
Okay. So does everybody understand the volume profile a little bit? We can cover it more maybe Sunday, where we can just focus on the volume profile, and I'll show you guys some tricks and tips So, the highlighted area here, what would you call this here? So I will delete all of this and we'll start over again on SPY, just so that way people can pick up the knowledge. Let me go. And the reason why we chart on 30 minutes, just so everybody knows, is what I've tested throughout the years is the 30 minutes gives me the best accurate POCs. And if you followed me on Twitter, and I'm not, bragging, but they seem to hit pretty well. All the levels that we mark on 30 minutes, on here, you don't really select the range. You can select the range, I think there's a way to put, there goes the interval or something. But on ThinkOrSwim, you pick 30 days, 30 minutes, the look back period. Here, you don't really look, you scroll and you find, I'm in October of last year, but 30 minutes has been the most accurate. If you need to look more, use 65 minutes. For all the new people, 65 minutes divides into a day perfectly 6 times.
Are you doing it with extended hours or off? Because
I don't use extended hours.
You don't use
on TradingView. I don't use extended hours on ThinkOrSwim. I use extended hours on. The two platforms have totally different math in calculating volume profile.
Okay.
In ThinkOrSwim they use aggregation. And TradingView they don't use the similar math, so that's why I use the difference.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so speaking of volume profiles, usually when you see something like a B shape, when that gets reclaimed, like when this one gets reclaimed here, right now this is a POC, a VPOC. And for all the new people, the VPOC is basically a level that hasn't been tested yet. Meaning this VPOC here, you guys see that the price never came back to touch it, right? So if you look, it never came back to touch it, but I promised you it will. It will come back, and if you zoom in, let me just zoom in on this one a little bit. If I zoom in on this volume profile itself, it looks pretty good. It's a lower B, volume profile, so you have the POC here, and it has a nice distribution around it. So what I typically do is I'll find a nice distribution around it. I personally like to mark these supplies to be red. Supplies when it's above the price. Demand is when it's below the price. Does everybody understand supply and demand on the call? If you don't, that's okay, guys. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to put you down or make you a worse trader.
Could you explain it a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'll use who said that? That's fine. I just want to use your name.
Josh.
Josh. Okay.
Yeah.
So Josh, let's give you a scenario. Josh wants to buy shoes. I don't know. What are famous shoes now? I have no idea. Reeboks, Yeezys. Okay. He wants to buy shoes, Nike limited edition. Current price is $1,000 for a pair. Okay. If the price is at $1,000, and I don't even know where the text went. Maybe here. Okay. So if Josh wants to buy the shoes and they're at $1,000, well, the curve of supply and demand, when you put it like this, when you do the charting on it, it's not going to have as many buyers as it will, the demand as the price goes up. So as the price goes up, the supply is going to go down. So if Josh wants to buy shoes, just think about this for a second. If Josh wants to buy shoes that are $1,000 and he's a patient buyer, that means he's a responsible buyer. Like I explained to you guys in the Trading 101, you guys have a PDF that explains this. He will wait for the price of these to drop. The only way price of this will drop is how?
By a lot of selling.
It will only drop if there's not enough buyers to say, yes, I want it at $1,000. Recently, for the past 2 years, you guys had a great example, and I'm kind of like the victim of it as well, is PlayStation 5s.
Right.
PlayStation 5's retail price was at, I believe, $500, right? People would, the scalpers would get it and resell it at $900. They were able to do that because there was demand. People were willing to pay it, whether it's Christmas, whether it's, I don't even know what holiday you celebrate, whatever you celebrate. they were willing to pay for that, but not wait. If they waited, can you go find the PS5 now for 500? Probably. Like easy, you can find it. That's where the patience comes in and responsive buying. Like you're a responsible buyer and you're able to wait it out till the frenzy's over and you buy it. The same with Josh. If he wants these shoes, just give it a little bit of time. Somebody's gonna buy the top. And if somebody starts buying the tops, well, eventually what's gonna happen is that they will sell it just to get rid of it. And same thing happens in stocks. And we talked about this before. Let's bring Jim Cramer's favorite stock. Okay, so here's our favorite guy, Jim Cramer, said this stock is worth $1,000. Well, let's give him a lesson of something called Wyckoff, right? Theory. So here, what did they do in this scenario here? Well, here they accumulated this stock, meaning there was a lot of purchases and demand of this stock between $0 and $25. They're buying it like hotcakes, right? I mean, you see here, look at the green volumes. You guys see the spikes in green volumes here?
Yeah.
Do you see the same spikes in volume here?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't see it on the right. So now you follow.
No.
You see here, they went over this area, they popped it to the next level, and then they reaccumulated. Well, if these people got it on average, let's say $75, and this went to $700, they already made their 10 times the money, right? So now they slowly have to, whatever they got here, if you look at the volumes, these are volumes, guys. These are not like tiny little volumes where they bought a little bit. They bought a lot of shares because they're a lot cheaper too. Now they have to get rid of the shares here. Well, how do you do it, right? The simple concept of, if you look at it, it looked like a distribution or phase for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's say about a year and a half, Netflix reaccumulated here. If you're smart and you knew it, like what's happening, I mean, you have to put a little bit of fundamental knowledge in this. They accumulated here. They bought the warehouse here. The shoes were super cheap here. Well, if you bought 1,000 pairs of these shoes of Nike limited, whatever edition, at $25, and these Nikes now hit $10,000, Josh, what would you do when they hit $10,000 and you have 1,000 pairs?
Sell them?
Yeah, of course you sell them. And what would you do now when the price drops back to 200?
Buy them, start buying in.
You would start buying in. Yeah. And it's simple. You're at demand, you buy. At supply or distribution phase, you will look for selling. And you can look for selling climaxes based on the volume, right? So here, they're indicating already, you look up the pickup on volume on this bar, nice huge bar, volume picked up, that they're selling this, right? This was over. Like here, as soon as it trapped people enough, it hit the top and it started kind of coming back down, and there's plenty of opportunities to short it, if you looked at the chart and bigger picture. And same with anything that you do, whether it's, if you look at, for instance, SPY on 10 minutes. Let me look at SPY on 5 minutes today, just so you guys can see it. So here's SPY on 5 minutes. I'll just hide this volume, just so you guys see that it happens everywhere. So here you have a consolidation zone right here. Sorry, I didn't mean to extend it. So you guys see that we accumulated here, and then we are able to pop a little higher. We really didn't go the distance of the whole pop. So if you measure this to here, we're supposed to go 0.72 because this is a measured move, rectangular consolidation. So we're supposed to go somewhere around here, right? So this was the expected move. And it really didn't make that move all the way, right? So if you look at it, right? So here was a accumulation. There's another accumulation here on the bottom. I would say this right here. There's another accumulation here. So you had a decent accumulation here. You guys see it? And if you literally just do this during the day and you play these boxes, there's no reason why you should not make money or why you need Shorty or anyone to tell you how to trade. You just slow down a little bit, and then you look at accumulation here, right? I mean, it's not a really big range here. So if you look at it, Look at this. Like, but it's still back in the zone. So if you're going to short SPY tomorrow, you know, you can short below 413.82. If you're really risky below 415, you can short it, but make sure you get out of this level. Because it's going to get some support. And then, you know, let's just use the tools that we have, that we learned how to use. So if I was to look at this and I start charting, we're starting now the levels for watch list. So here's our level. So we have the 413, which seems to be a shelf here. You guys see it? There was a shelf from the day before. Pretty nice one. Here's a great demand zone here. And we're probably going to be respecting this one for a little bit now. Unless if we break this, we will make a new lower low. We'll take out the 404 out. So let's see. We'll make this one greenish. Sorry, I like to have this extended to the right.
That's 413.57. You said
413. Let's see. On which level? Sorry.
on SPY.
Oh, hold on. We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten
okay.
all the levels yet. Yeah. We'll get them in a second. So let's see. So here's this POC that you guys see what's happening here. So they have 2 days of POCs here. And what did I tell you about, you know, how to deal with this? Does anyone remember? When you have basically consolidation of your POCs right next to each other, you take this POC level, you take this POC level, and you divide it by 2, and you put your line there. What I do is I'll look for an approximate level. I find it like right in between. You know, this level here is probably 412.18. This level is 411.77. So if you take 412.18 plus 411.77 divided by 2, I don't know, maybe you'll get the level that I have here. Maybe you won't. But I just use approximate levels. I don't want to spend 2 days calculating levels. And then, you know, I know that I have a VPOC here that's going to be acting as a magnet. It's going to be pulling towards it. The VPOCs are about probably 5 to 10 times stronger. I would say 10 times stronger than a POC. It does pull and price gravitates naturally towards it. So just make sure whenever you see one that you're aware of it. You know, that there's a high chance that we're going to rip right above it.
Shorty,
Then,
the break of supply and demand versus the break of a VPOC and a PLC, and how somebody should play it on the breakout or on the retest.
I like the retest, right? So most traders play the retest. I like the retest. You can get a nice burst when stuff breaks here, but then you really get a nicer move when it comes back for a retest, because then you get another bus of loading and then it goes higher. That's typically what happens in the stock market. Like, so if you look at this, so tomorrow, I don't even know how the futures are doing, but if you look at this right now, it looks like an intraday bull flag, even though we are still, you know, in higher time frames. We still have lower highs, we have higher lows, but it's still very bearish. Once we break this level, let's say tomorrow, everybody's watching this 418. I am pretty certain that we're going to go to 420 level, which is also a POC right here. Right. So if you look at it, 420.55 is there, and then you have another level here, and then when you, so these become your levels. And what I would do tomorrow is this: if this breaks here, I will most likely come back to retest, then look to buy here. Let the first guys, you know, get their 5% here, then you get it. Then it's going to go to your next level, and most likely it could push towards 427. You know, we do have, I believe, FMOC tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So it is going to be like pretty volatile. You know, if they come out with 75 basis points, this is just speculation, right? I don't know the answer, but if they come out, you know, really bearish 75 basis points or worse, you can expect the market to tank, right? You can expect it to go even lower than where we are now. If they come out and say economy is already slowing down, we're not going to increase interest rates. If they say anything along those lines, we're going to rip to 450 within 2 days. And just how the market works, right? Okay, so levels, I'm looking for this flag to break. And then, you know, you will have a retest here, and we have a POC right there. So 417.87 retest would be great. If we do get a dip buy, you know, you have today's POC here as well at 415.23, which could be your kind of like a bouncing point tomorrow. So 415, and if you see weakness that is going below, then that 413.82 might be good for a bounce play. And then if that doesn't break, if that doesn't hold, then we have this level here with the nice demand zone, which is also our 2x POC, right? So it's 2x POC, 1x VTOC on this one.
We're green on the future, Shorty. And what happens if price action fails on the breakout? How would you suggest the members
I would
to?
short it right below here, 417. I was shorted here, so the way it probably is going to work tomorrow is these scenarios. This is going to be your scenario one, break, retest, go higher. This one is going to be go break below, and then it's going to come back like right around here somewhere. And when I put these circles, that they don't reflect the perfect timing, it just reflect the levels. I'll be looking for shorting on the bottom side of this. Drop below, come here, bearish money shot, continue to the 412. So about $5 drop.
I love it. I love it. Do you use any macro? It's not macro. Market dynamics. Like you look at VIX to have more confluence, or you just use
Well,
cloud.
you guys know, right, that I use AdVix. So on my top screen, let's see. So let me try to make it a little bit bigger. So on my top screen, I use CPC, I use VIX, and then here is usually my ad. And I pay attention to divergences on ad, right? So if you're on 3 minutes or let's say 5 minutes chart on ad, and you're looking at this, right? So we are kind of ranging today. Like there's really no big moves that were happening. So for me, you know, if SPX was making a higher high and ad was making lower highs like it is here, you know, it becomes a sign. So we can take a look at you know, SPX at 148 and see what it did. So let's see, SPX on 148. So see, it was an alignment, right? So this was making lower high as well, and so was the ad. And you know, here's your little triangle that's building up. So I use ad. You can use VIX. I mean, I think VIX is about 30 now. Oh wow, it closed below 30. So yeah, we closed below 30, which is bullish. We need it to stay above 30 on VIX. But there's a trend line there, so. Okay, so I would watch this trend line tomorrow on VIX, you know, see if this breaks. If this breaks, then, you know, because what does it look like to anyone? So it could be that it's creating a right shoulder on this right here. You know, if you look at the 1 hour chart, left shoulder head, go up and then break it. So volatility will be there tomorrow. And then what you guys are seeing on the bottom, probably if somebody's wondering, is actually it's the money flow sector here. And I tagged you in this. So basically it tells me which sector for the day is popping. Like today was energy, healthcare started popping, and then it tells me the cyclicals and technology took a shit today. You see this? They stayed low, the money was coming out of it, and money inflow was going into energy, utilities, and financials today. So it's pretty good, like visual of everything that's happening, and it updates live. So, but yes, I use VIX, I use AND, and I also use CPC, which is your put to calls ratio. If I see them buying puts, as SPY is ripping, usually that's a good sign that we're going to be reversing back to the downside. So I pay attention to that as well. Excuse me. Let's see.
Sweet. I don't know. I don't have questions that I can ask for the group.
Well, let's finish the watch list and then we'll hold a little bit of a class on stuff like this, the technicals. But I'll definitely watch this tomorrow. I mean, ideally, if we could get it at like 413.8 tomorrow, that'd be pretty good for a buy. and rip it higher. But these would be the levels that I play probably tomorrow. Let me see on VPVR what we got. So the levels match. This would be, if we go below 411, then we got a little bit of weakness here. Yeah, so we got nice levels here.
Oh shit, Shorty, this is a question for me actually. How would you what would you consider strong volume compared to weak volume? Do you use your current time frame, like the 30-minute, compare it to historical 30-minute volume, or you
Well,
use
what I usually do on volume here, and I keep changing my inputs. I use MA like 20 here on my volume, and I use 50 on toss. So here, if you put this, I look at the volume break, let's say on 20-day average, like is the volume breaking up or down? But then also there's relative volume, right? Relative volume to the candles that you're seeing. So if you guys read the Anna Cooling book, for instance, here, right, you see this big green candle and you see the volume representing that 10-minute candle is pretty low. Then you come here where we have a really, really green volume and the candle is twice as less as this candle here.
Yep.
So for me, that's a candle volume anomaly. It's telling me that something here is not right. And I don't typically use indicators like, RSI, but at some point you can probably find some bearish divergences that way. When you start looking at these candles, somewhere it's going to point to a bearish divergence and you'll be able to recognize it quickly. So here you had a bullish divergence. You guys see it? So this one here made a lower low. This one here made a higher low. So that usually is a sign of a bullish divergence. And then what most people do that trade this, I don't trade any indicators, is they will take the breakout of this RSI breaking out. So here they would have taken it and taken it long, which would have been nice. Yeah, but I don't use this. I don't see any value in it. Okay, so that's level for that. ES, let's see how the future is doing. Okay, well, we're not about 4,200, which is big deal. Today we talked about it, right? We said that, 4,200 is going to be super, super important on ES, and they hit it perfectly. I think you hit it on the dot, actually. Let's see, where did I go? No, I thought I hit it higher. Maybe not. So 41.95, and now let's see what we got here in terms of zones. Okay. So our level for go long was 41.58. We broke that. So tomorrow, you really, really need to go above 4,200. But there's a strong POC here sitting. So I will not touch this until it goes over 4,200 tomorrow. And then you can look for weaknesses to short it here, because here has a B shape, here has a volume shelf lined up. It's going to be a pretty strong level here, 40.12, 42.12, and you guys see another POC here lined up perfectly. Almost two POCs lined up. Text. So there's that 2x POC right here. So that's what we were watching. There's one here, and then they might trap some people. I think this was a 25 level here. Yeah, 42.33. So this might be used as a trap level tomorrow. Right here. And then if you just remove this, let's see what else we got. So the go long level here is the POC of today, just coincidence, right? So this becomes your VPOC. think if you go on like 4 hours, it's still bear flagging, right? Well, we're fighting to make a new higher high to take out this 41.90. If we can take out that, there's potential to go higher, but honestly, till it breaks 42.12, it's gonna struggle, and we're still bear flagging here. So we got 2 touches here, so we'll watch this tomorrow over 4,200. We'll take a long. Qs, let's see. So Qs had a perfect bounce off of our levels. There's the Qs from our Sunday levels. Came in perfectly here. This level here is gone. Let's see what we got on 30 minutes. So it looks like 321 is important. This area here has that increased here. Yeah, you guys see the importance of this level here, closing above 321. You have 1, 2, 2 POCs with another, I guess, POC here that it was mini POC and then shifted to the top side, which becomes a really, really strong supply here. Because it's a P-shaped profile, it will be really hard to get through it. This level here is pretty strong, 327. So, I mean, if we break 321 tomorrow, there's a strong chance that we go to 327. If you're not able to hold any of this, I would think that we're going to come back and revisit this POC tomorrow at 313. And it's going to be highly volatile. So for most traders, I do suggest that you don't trade till the news are out and FMOC is out. And even then, it takes a little bit more to digest and put into the market and how it's going to react. But if you must trade, I would definitely consider the levels that we're doing now, along with, you know, the 3 confluence points tomorrow. But let's see. I'm kind of prematurely bullish for tomorrow. Let's see. So we go 4 hours. Here. Just delete it. I'll just make a channel here so I can see it. That's good. So on this, I mean, we got to break 320. I would say 320 breaks. We have a chance 321. Safer bet is close above this, retest, and then you go to 325, 327, and then the psychological 330 will be there as well. I think it'll be around here somewhere, yeah. So which is a double top. So this will be a nice level to get out if we start ripping tomorrow, the 330s. And then I would definitely short it below this 315.79. So if I was to go here, I would look short below this level here, which is, let me make sure this is a VPOC still. Yeah, there's no longer a VPOC. Okay, so any questions on Qs? Perfect. AMD. So AMD, we had it marked pretty well. See what is it doing after hours?
rip because of NVIDIA. I mean, yeah, it had ER. Sorry. NVIDIA
So we
rip
had
too.
good. I mean, they'll come back down. So we're right in the VPOC cloud here. Obviously, you guys see the rip carry zero volume here. So if it goes below 96, it's an easy short. It's going to come back down right into this demand zone right here, 91. See what's the next level. So here's the VPOC here. The VPOC there. Ooh, this is a strong level for rejection here. You guys see this? Let me move this line for a second. What do you guys notice here?
You have a double,
Right here.
well, a POC and a VPOC that line up perfectly.
This is a dangerous level right here, guys. If it goes above 101, people start buying 105 calls. Just remember what I'm telling you here. If it gets above 101 or 100, people will start buying 105 calls. I guarantee you with anything they got. And what do you think the market makers will do?
It's going to reject hard right there.
It's going to reject super hard.
103.50. Yep.
It's going to reject here, and people are going to be like, oh, crap, man. I'm just going to buy a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and then they're going to send it back to the level that we just talked about. So most probably right here to the fresh VPOC of 90.90. But we'll let them find out on their own. So the 91.64 was a good level. And this is our VPOC here. Oh, what a nasty volume profile on it. It really didn't do much today until after hours. You guys see that? It just created a triangle, lower highs and higher lows. And this whole area literally becomes your demand zone. Because it's super tight already. So 2x POC VPOC here. There's another VPOC here, which we can mark. I'm just glad the ER is over for it. I wasn't trading it for some time now. So VPOC. So we got this area. So 2x POC here. Yeah, so this area will be nice for bounce in case we trap people. $89.7 is important. That POC right here. Yep. So tomorrow this will be a great buy at 91. We have 94 and 91 tomorrow on AMD. And I'll put a little line right here, tiny little line here on this one. 95.5 is potential as well, but let's see. So I'll watch this flag, obviously. Tomorrow, most likely we'll go to the 101, reject. If it rejects 101, it'll come back to about 97, 98. That might be a good opportunity. If it starts dipping here, then this becomes our buy right here. If it breaks this, then this one becomes your buy for calls.
Just out of curiosity, can you draw fibs on that flag and see where the 272 lands? It would be crazy if it lands at 101. And it does. Wow.
It'll be right around that area that we go tomorrow before we even see it. Let me see how the NQ is doing. NQ is probably ripping. It's a little bit up. Not really ripping. It's not above 13.2. So you guys care why I care about 13.2. We covered it. You guys see what's 13.2? It's our go long level on NQ. So, and we get about 130 points before we get smacked back down. And this level here shifted a little bit. Sorry, I know I jumped now that I saw it. I need to mark it. This is a VPOC here now. Okay, so that's AMD. Tesla looks like it had an intraday flag. Yep. There goes Tesla. So what do we say here? We're looking, I'm going to extend it. We're looking for a rejection here. And I guess we got it close enough. We got that. And rejection here. So this one is no longer. I mean, it has a nice setup for a run tomorrow. If we decide to go, I mean, conservative entry, you wanted a break of 934. If you're going to be a little bit riskier, let me just remove some of these lines. You can take this high right here or the break of this line. I suggest you wait for this line here, 923, which will be today's high, right? Yep, so this should be your go long. And then we got a POC pot right here. So that level is no longer relevant. And then, you know, this VPOC here is still waiting, guys. And I think we are going to rip to it right now. I think we ripped to it this week. Because there's an inverted cup and handle a little bit. You guys see a shift in the handle, left, right, cup. And if you measure from here to here, it's 9%. And if you measure from the break to here, is how much? I see that.
You can't see it.
So we have potential on this tomorrow. So then another epoch here. Just a bunch of epochs left behind. Okay, so we'll definitely watch this tomorrow on Tesla. I think it's worth it. I think patience will pay tomorrow on this one. Usual suspect, Amazon. So it did kind of what we wanted it. It made this one no longer a VPOC. Just made it a POC now. We still have a huge VPOC here. Anti-power right VPOC. So we have that one. We have this one here. I mean, there's a bunch here. So how would you play this, anyone on Amazon?
Am I anyone or no?
Yeah, you're anyone.
I mean, I would take it above, what is it, like 2560?
Yep.
To fill that gap up to whatever, the VPOC at 2786. I would expect a rejection there, and if not, then I would be looking for a rejection at 2817.
Yep.
That would be
Yep,
my plan. There's also a full send on Amazon over 2611.
So. I have 2615 would be pretty much around.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's a full send that lines up almost with that at 2611.50. So.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how you should play it. So if I look at this right now, you guys see anything here that's kind of interesting or no? Anyone?
I don't know if I'm anyone or not, but
We're gonna answer it.
it's a cup and
Cup
handle.
Cup and handle.
Yep. So we have a nice little cup right there. This line probably not as long here, but you guys see it. So here's this, and then you have a handle here as well. So if you're just measuring the move, you measure from the bottom to the top here, which is about 8%. then you find the measuring tool again, and let's say it breaks off of here, and you're looking at 813. Once we enter this gap, there's a high chance that you're going to go all the way to it. So that would be my first target if we enter this gap, which is about right on $100 move between here and here. So I would enter this. You can wait. So if you enter the break here, you have to calculate your risk and reward, right? So if you enter the break here, let's say it's 2,500, you enter the break. Well, know that you're gonna probably get some kind of rejection between 2,535 and 2,550, which is 15-point, range. So you would get in here probably for a $50 risk, and you can probably afford 24.85, probably a $5-10 risk on Amazon. And if you're not familiar with trading Amazon, it moves, pretty big moves, and they can kind of hit your stop loss real quick. So if you're not familiar with it, don't trade it just yet till whether it's your account size or you learn a little bit more. It can really wipe your account. But my short level is right here, 23.43. We still have a bear flag on this one. I mean, it's a bear flag clean as day right here. So let me remove this so it can look cleaner. I'll definitely watch this and see how we do. What did I do here? So you can break this or 25.35 retest, and then it goes 26.15, which is probably the most probable scenario. Like to look at 3 days, it's going to be a big red candle and a big gap. Okay, look at just Chinese real quick. So, wow. Does anyone remember us talking about shorting NEO below 27? Yeah, it's good.
I do, yeah.
It worked out. $10 cents. Or even more. It went to $12. Wow. It went to $13. Crazy. So if it's able to reclaim this, so the ideal entry would be retest of this right here. This is what you should pay attention to. We'll just put a little alarm on this guy. Look at Baba. Oh, there's the bear flag that we had. And you guys want to measure this bear flag? So you guys for practice. So this one was, what is this, 40%? You guys see how well it worked?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful. So something worth watching, right, on this one. I mean, it's been in a down channel. I mean, this is almost too perfect, guys. I mean, higher high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Everything's lower. And now there's something happening that's worth noting on 3 days. Do you guys see it?
Double bottom.
Double bottom is one of them. But you're having what?
Oh, higher low.
We got a higher low now. Usually when you have a higher low after a nice downtrend like this, there's probably a sign of reversal coming.
Reversal.
If you look at the weekly, this should have some volume picking up here. And look at the volume. It's the highest volume, green volume, since IPO. So what do you guys think they're doing while they're putting fear in you?
Mm-hmm.
They're buying. Like this. So I would definitely watch this, guys. This, for shares wise, I think this is pretty good. I mean, when is their earnings? Oh, it's coming up. May 6th. Is that a Friday? Oh, that's a Friday. Okay. So where are you headed? Are you headed right here? Looks like it's headed to 115. I think this can pop.
Which one's that, Shorty? Amazon?
No, this is Baba.
Okay.
I'm gonna be playing this long tomorrow off of this level. You can short it below. This is 2x POC. I'm not gonna short it here because this. You guys see this right here? Actually, it's 4x POC right here. Yeah, I would definitely be cautious of this one. This is 4x POC on this guy right here, so and the volume should be right around there. Perfect. So it looks like I'm just looking at price action for a moment. Wow, I can't believe this did so much. You guys know where this was, right? I mean, it was in like 400s. This was in 320s, and now I went to low of, what is this? 72. And yeah, I think this is getting really interesting. Let me just look at monthly candles here. You guys see this volume here? I mean, I think it's gonna rip. Once it breaks this level, it's going to rip. I'll put it right now. It's going to explode literally over this level. So I'll be looking to take this long tomorrow over 103. You guys just see how funny this everything is, how the markets work. Green profits, green surprises, all green, and then when they need to sell off, somehow analysts always overestimate. Okay. Yeah. Yearly anchored rewamp is at 108. Yeah, I'll definitely watch this tomorrow. This could be a nice potential play here. 104, and then we have 105. Double XPSC here, middle. 430. So there goes the supply, 111. All right, throw some tickers. Whoever wants a ticker. Questions, comments, whatever you need.
Can you do SPY one more time, please?
Yep.
After SPY, would you be able to show how to put that volume at the bottom of your screen? How to make that pop up on my screen?
Yep. So here's your SPY chart on 30 minutes, right? So we have, let me take the volume profile. So here's a intraday bull flag, which we're still below the lower highs. And if you guys know the candlestick patterns, right? So this is where the sell-off came, like right into this supply, but there's also another strong supply sitting right here at 420. So if you wanted to take a long tomorrow, you can play the break right here of this. Then you have 420, 422. I would say you have 425, just psychological level, right? I'll pay attention to those. And then you have 427, which is going to be a strong supply zone because it was a double top here as well, if you guys look.
Mhm.
So right here, you had a double top. And then you had a second one right here. So this will be a pretty good range tomorrow. I'm expecting a lot of moves tomorrow. And then, here's your demand that hasn't been retested here. So if you break 412, there's a strong chance that you're going to about 407 tomorrow. So I'll definitely watch that.
Okay.
And you can short below 1382. It's a little bit more riskier, less risk below 412. And then you have 410, which was previous support, like what, 2 months ago or a month ago. So you take your profits, 412 to 410, take profits. If it dips more, you roll into 405s. Those roll, you sell the 405s, you get in 400s and so on, so you don't lose profits. But this looks pretty good so far. We said SPY, and then the question was on volume, how to add bottom volume, like this one here.
Yes, please.
Yep, so if you go under here and you just type in volume, you click the first one, which is, I'm not going to click it because I have it. And then you kind of click the settings. And what I have is that I have the MA here, volume MA, the blue line. So you can put that, let's see, you can enable that. And then inputs, you can change the MA to whatever you want, 50, 20. Some people like to use 50. The line's going to shift, flatten out more. I just like to use, because I'm more of a day trader than I am a swing trader. I like to look at this on a smaller time frame, 20 days.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep. And for people that don't know how to add, if you don't know how to add the volume profile, here when you click on indicators, if you click the technicals and you can click on the volume profile here, you'll have different ones. So volume profile fixed range, do you guys know what this is?
No, what is that?
So this one is, let's say I wanted to know from here to here, I want to know how the volume profile would look. Well, here it goes. This is my volume profile from here to here. It tells me how the volume looks like. So now I know in this swing here, it's telling me, the shells and where they are. So, and you can do that multiple times, right? So if I wanted to know, let's see, I wanted to know from here to here. So here's this. You guys see how important that level that I marked earlier, 420.55? It's like right here. I mean, I'd rather mark it at 420.66. You guys see how important that level is? From April 21st till now, that is the POC right here that hasn't been retested since we broke below it. So most likely tomorrow we're going to tap this.
Is that the volume profile session volume?
No, this is a fixed range volume profile. So what I was explaining is that you can select the range itself.
Okay.
So like this range is automatic. When you do session volume, do you know what session volume is? So
No.
your session volume is one session is 1 day. So if you look at your volume profile session, for instance, now that's what we've been using. So these little boxes, each one of these boxes from here to here is the volume profile for that day alone.
Okay.
Okay, so if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to look at it for a week. Okay, well I know. Well, let me look at last week just so I can get the date. So last week would have been let's say that we want to look at it from the 25th till the 3rd. So what I would do is if I want to look at it for a week, I'll look at the fixed range from here. So this would be the 25th. So I would just use the high here till here. And now I got a volume profile for a full week.
Mm.
And now I'm able to tell, here's that volume profile that we had the supply, and it looks like it was the second highest volume here after this one. So it looks like here there's a lot of volume being created, and to me it might be buying. And then right here, if you look at the zone, like you see this huge volume shelf. Oh, does it line up perfectly? See how well that worked? It lined up perfectly with the volume shelf that we have on a 2x POC here. Usually when you have 2 days or 3 days lined up perfectly, you will get a nice shelf like this. And then we go, right? So, and if we're to break this level here, 428.62, the 438 POC is going to happen maybe in 15 minutes towards the end of the day. If we're able to break this level, we're going to explode. The double top level. Okay.
For you also mentioned earlier with the VIX that if that dipped below that one level, that'll also add to your bullish thesis.
Yeah, I mean they closed it. They closed it below 30, which is, going into the FMOC. That's kind of highly unusual for me. I would expect to them that they don't do that. You would want the VIX to be higher, because then the premiums are a little bit more costly, but it might signal something.
Gotcha.
So yeah, tomorrow this is huge, guys. This level right here that I'm kind of alluding to a few times, like break right here, this is gonna explode, and you literally can be done tomorrow, one and done, just using this level right here.
If you want, Shorty, I can go over some full sends.
Yep. I mean, if you're ready for it, you go ahead and take over. Hopefully you guys picked some stuff up. Today you guys had a lot of opportunities. Like what I like to do usually for myself, I'll look at the chart like today, and I'll just kind of go through the list and be like, okay, well, where was the entry and what would I have taken it? And today there's quite a few, that I would have taken. You had the previous day high, you had multiple retests, you had the break of previous day high, you had the PDC, you broke the PDH, which is your previous day high, went to the previous day close, exploded, went to the weekly pivot, and our level here at 417.87 rejected, and then came back again, I guess, to our 415 level and bounced off of it. But there was a lot of entries today you could have used, and same with SPX. It had a decent range, up, down, so there was nice opportunities today.
Hey, Shorty.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think I lost.
No, you're here. It's not you. I don't know what happened.
Hello?
Yeah, we got
hear
you.
you.
What I was asking is, you got in a number of good SPX calls today, or that you got into. Could you show us on this where you got in, like why you chose that point to enter?
Oh, yeah. So that would be here, I believe, the May 2nd or May 3rd. Was it May 3rd today? Tuesday? Yeah, still Tuesday. Yeah, so I was going to delete everything, but I won't. Let me go onto a different profile. Yeah. We'll go in 3 minutes. So I think, where did we get in? I think we got in, let me look. Let me look. So SPX, the 4,200 calls we got in. Well, I got in a few times. Yeah, I got in too many times. 932, 947, 10, 11. Let's see. So let's start from the beginning, right? Let's start, where's the day break? So this was our day start. This is where the orbs showed up. Now let's kind of look at the orbs. So first here you had a double top, and I think all of us were screaming in the room that there was a double top on this, right? Let me condense it a little bit. So here was your double top right here that it created, and it rejected that. So then, when I was looking at the contract, I was mainly playing SPX off of the contract itself. I was charting, the SPX. I have the key levels, but I was mainly looking at the SPX contract prices and their movements and their, what are they not willing to take on them. So when I look at this on regular candles here, so you had a couple of entries. Let me make this a little bit smaller for you guys. So you had a couple of entries. You had a double top here. So as soon as this level here was taken out, which was 41.77 on my toss, my level was 41.73 for SPX. And I think I mentioned that maybe a few times, that 41.73 breaks, that it was going to go to 4,200. And that was, the level that I was kind of keen on and eyeing the whole time, which was 41.73. Once that broke here, I mean, it looks pretty good. And it also came back to retest this level. So if you guys know this trick, we talked about it before. It came back to this level multiple times today. So this level is the untested imbalance volume. So imbalance price is going to bring it back to this. And look, we want this here. You have your 1272, and then you have this candle here that also represents a new demand zone. Then it broke it, came back. I mean, you could be playing scalps here, 47.73 to 41.85. You could probably make, I'm not lying, probably $100 on contract on here every single time. Hit here, go here. So there's a couple of ways you could have played it. You could have played it on the break of 41.73, which is what I did. I loaded up a little bit more there. Then, I did short it a few times as well. We caught the 4100s, I think, right here on the move, because this was a double top. So this was a double top here, right? So you have a lower high on the double top, and your perfect entry was right here at 41.88. I did get in on those 4100s, kind of here, and then I re-added, and I think they went from 165 to 35 or something like that. So, and then of course I would start selling and scaling out, but here you had a nice break as well. Then in terms of entries, right? So you have a lower high. We were not able to take out the high of the day that was set here at 11 o'clock. So it showed, a lot of weakness throughout the day. So for me, it's setting up potentially for liquidity break. But let's see tomorrow. Let me kind of continue with the entries. So here you had, if you recall what we talked about last time, you have a higher high, lower high, then you have a lower high here as well. If you played the first lower high, then you would have played this break here with the stop loss probably being your orb high. So you're risking 7 points, if you're gonna play this. If you're gonna play this on a break, right? So let's say this was your break. So your stop loss would be, if I was to do this, probably like right here on the orb high, and you're there, and target would be your day high. So this would be a 2-to-1 trade, which is not bad, right? If you took this trade, it's pretty good. You took it right here on the retest and the break of lower high trend line, and then you took it all the way up. And most people would sell it when you're hitting $200, $300 on the contract, which these probably did, from 47 to 4200. So I'm pretty sure they moved nicely. So that was one of your entries here. Obviously, you had one here for your shorting entries. You had quite a few as well. So if you look at the trend line here, you had, some people would call this an ascending triangle. I personally don't. Even though it looked like a rip, and it could have continued during the day, it really is not a continuation pattern, but it could be intraday here. On a bigger scale, definitely not. So here you had lower highs and higher lows. Usually what that means, and many of you guys by now should know that, is higher high plus higher low is bullish. I can't type. Lower high plus lower low bearish. Any other combo is consolidation. So what that means here that we're consolidating, we didn't know what the price is going to do. We're not showing strength. We're not taking this price out. Then you look at this big old candle here that we have, and it's telling you that this is going to be a nice supply here. Every time you come in, it looks like we're going to sell. To me, it looked like, if you look at the day start, it looks like to be almost like I would say it's almost like a range day today. Like, I don't even know if it is or not. Let me see. So it looks actually like a typical day. It came back here, set a wide balance in the beginning, and then it kind of just played inside of it, right? So it came almost close, and then you see the responsive buyers coming in and defending that 41.50, and they drove it almost 40 points. So we're still in the lower highs here. So definitely we will watch the 4,200 for the break tomorrow. But does it make sense on the entries, at least what I'm seeing, or I think Mr. Bean asked?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep. So you had a couple of them. You can use the trend bar, you can use the orbs, you can use the trend lines as your confluence points. Here you had a trend bar break. You had, the 1618 break or the 2.0 break, which is pretty good with the retail traders. So if you took this here, that's not a bad entry, right? 41.88. I mean, you drove it 30 points down. That would have paid pretty nicely. So yeah, you had that one. Then, here it didn't happen, but here's one shaping to be here. If this takes, then, if you take this trade, 41.80 to 4,200, you probably make some decent money on that as well. And then let's see for a little bit bigger. Let's see Qs, how they behave today. So you see Qs here, they're pretty rangy today. I mean, this is actually, there's still a typical day here, pretty wide range. Set up a little trap here towards the end, I guess 2 o'clock. Yep, that's usually when they set the traps at 2 o'clock. So 320 never broke, never closed above it. So let's see. I mean, this 317.45 level is fairly important level here. And then we have a nice trend line here. If this breaks here, you'd probably take it. Oh, take it below this 316.20, short it.
Sorry, really quick, Shorty. What was your entry on Amazon again?
On what's on the shares?
Yeah.
So I initially bought at 2,900. That was my first buy, and then I started adding here around 2,400 with a little bit bigger size, just to kind of help me with the $500 drop.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to accumulate. After the split, my goal is to have 500 shares of it or more, so that way I can really sell some contracts and collect premium on both sides.
Nice.
Let me see if our friend was able to fix something. Are you guys ready? Let's see.
If it's the new trend bar, I doubt it.
Oh, you'd be surprised who you're working with.
No, because he just asked me for the link.
Yes, he already fixed it.
Are they gonna change the name on the full send?
You can change the name on a full send. Do you know how?
No.
Okay, who's asking? I can help you change it.
Being
Yeah, I'll help you change it. Bean. What do you want it to say? You want to say bean?
No, I just was wondering if we could have a different one for up and versus down.
Oh no, not that type of loop on on ThinkScript. I thought you meant to change the name of it. Yes, but to have it would almost have to double the script, the size of it, and then it would really run poorly in ThinkOrSwim.
It's already huge.
Yeah, it's already I think 15 or I think it was 1280 lines of code.
Yeah, like almost 1,300 lines.
Yeah. So it would be impossible. Let me see. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, we're 1,100 lines of code, so it would be too much to handle for ThinkScript. But Amazon here, guys, looks really, really good for tomorrow. That break of 2,500, even I think this could send it. I mean, it could go if this breaks tomorrow. We have a pretty nice run tomorrow. You know, set up. You see the intraday flag. I really want it to go to about 2,900 so I can make some money off the shares and then start selling some calls or puts, whatever that might be. Oh, yeah. So I think he actually fixed it. Yeah, he did. You guys want to see what I'm talking about? So it was pissing me off that the offset on the arrows, sometimes it would show up way like underneath, and I just couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Sequence go in and change. You guys see how nicely it's showing up right now?
Yes.
Now you guys want to say thank you to Sequence because he just fixed it in 4 minutes.
Sequence already knows he's the man. We shouldn't pump him up more.
Yeah, we should not pump him up. I think we should ignore it. Okay, I'll post the new version here. Let's see. Let's see. We will post it right now so I don't forget it. I'm notorious for it. All right, I just posted it. So whoever wants to fix that, that's why I deleted the old one because I didn't want a lot of people getting the arrows and then reloading and giving them a headache.
We were all looking for it. We were very confused.
Yeah, I removed it because it was really annoying. The arrows were too far. Okay, so we fixed that. Yep, so there was a lot of entries on Amazon here for today. There was beautiful entries everywhere. Kept playing. So let's see. What else do you guys have? What tickers? Let me kind of go back to my other platform.
Oh, somebody asked me to ask you to look at snow.
Yeah, snow over 185.
Somebody who has their mic on that's giving feedback. I think it's you, Angel.
No, it's not me.
No, your mic's on, so it's picking up.
Oh,
maybe not. Somebody
no, there's
was.
no noise. Yeah, it's somebody else because there's no noise in here.
Okay, all right. It sounds like they turned it off. So.
He's like, don't pick on me, bro.
No, I think it is you, Angel. So you don't have headphones, right?
No.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
So your microphone's picking up when I speak. My microphone.
Oh, my bad.
Through your speakers.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So it's giving like crazy feedback.
You still getting it?
Well, no, when you have it muted, no, it doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
No, so if you look at snow here, it's in a nice down channel. If it breaks this kind of right here, I would say if it breaks 173, if you want to play 175, you can take a short, but it also could break this to the upside, and you could go higher, right? So if this breaks, goes higher, it has room to 187. If this breaks lower, then it has room to 150s. So first level would be somewhere around here, 167. Yeah, 167 here, and that level right here will be crucial. So 164-ish. That's what I would do on snow. Simple and easy on that one.
Okay,
Right.
soaring.
I'll pass it on sequence if you wanna to catching rocket. Sorry. If you wanna go in and show some full sends, if you found some interesting ones.
Yeah,
and
one
take
second, Shorty. Soaring Eagle has a question for you, but I'm gonna unmute his mic because he's got like really bad feedback.
All right.
No, that was the question. I was gonna ask about snow. I didn't know that you received
Yep.
my
So
message.
snow looks good. I mean, if you see it right here, so let me just add something so you can see it visually. Zones, my script. Yeah, so if you look at snow here, for instance, let me see, what's my look back period here?
Oh, and then I have one question for you, Shorty, from YouTube, if you don't mind. Somebody asked if you think SPY will go to 320 or 360 within this year.
Yeah, there's just speculation, right? So let me finish snow first. So if you look at snow here, right? So even in this break, you have a higher high, lower high, and then here it kind of took out this previous high. I wouldn't really count it. It's just computer measures this tick and says, yeah, you went above it. So I would still consider this to be lower highs, but we're making higher lows. And when you look at the bigger picture, like let's say 30 minutes, I don't even know why is it not going back. Okay. I'll have to get sequence to look at this. So you can tell that we have lower high, lower high, lower high. So now if you're able to switch this, usually what this stock does, and I've traded it before, when it breaks the previous lower high, it breaks it really with a force. So if you look at this here, it was 184 and went all the way almost $200. So you're looking for the break here over like 181, whatever this level is. If you want to play this break of 179, you have till 181 to kind of get out, make your money and get out. If it breaks that, then it has an opportunity to really, really take off and probably go, 190s, and then the major run would be 195. The best scenario that can happen on this stock is that it breaks to the downside, and then we catch it and take it. What will happen is that this here would happen instantly. Drop here, reload, and then it goes up to this level right here. So that's probably the most probable scenario that's going to happen, because here has a lower high on 30 minutes. I'm expecting a drop here and then an explosion to about 190. So that'll be a $30 run. Hopefully that helps you on snow.
What's the level on the first drop there, Shorty, that you just showed?
This one right here?
Yes.
Well, 167.14. Somebody asked about SPY. Let me look at SPY real quick. I mean, so SPY has a lot of support at 390. If it breaks that, There's a high probable chance if it breaks 390s that it will revisit 340 to 333. If it breaks that, then you have the 320 level. The probability of it happening this year, I mean, you need an event, right? I mean, you need an event that would drop it. What is that? 20%, like 22%, if you want to drop it from here to here. So you're looking at 21%. In order to get 21% drop, you need some significant to come through, and the rates alone are not going to do it. COVID dropped to 35%. You would need something significant, more war involvement with Ukraine, but I think war is going to end very soon. What I think could happen soon is if the war ends and they announce peace, that we get this.
Oh, sorry.
And then something could come up. This would be the better way if they play it to their advantage. What they do is they drop it here, they make another double top, and then they go to 320. I don't think they want it now. Okay, now Joe Biden's talking at 2 p.m. as well. Isn't FMOC at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, so FMOC and Biden talking at 2 p.m. tomorrow.
That's fucking disaster waiting to happen.
So Biden's talking about economic growth, jobs, and the deficit.
Oh, God.
I like how Shorty just goes silent.
Well, to me, that's just, you have one that rocks the market, right? With the FMOC and volatility, and then you have a guy that puts everybody asleep. So that's kind of crazy, right? Just interesting how they pick these random times, right? There was not another hour or a day where he could have talked. So is he coming tomorrow to save the market? You got to ask yourself, what's the reason why they scheduled him at 2 p.m.? Is it because they're going to hike the rates and he's going to pump it with the economic growth shortly after? Because they're talking at the same time.
That's just insane.
Yeah, people don't understand how these things just coincidentally, just perfect timings, announcements made at 4:15. Fun stuff. So tomorrow at 420.66, man, I'm so excited to see what happens tomorrow at this level. This is going to be huge. What else we got? Let's see some charts.
Take a look at CVS, Shorty.
Is it CVX or CVS?
CVS, the drugstore.
Favorite drugstore. All right. Let me just hide some stuff for a second. Let's look at the weekly first. Ooh.
Oh, options just said that CVS is ER tomorrow night.
Oh. I'm just thinking fundamentally, why would they drop this? They actually are coming back for an order. You guys see the order. I'm on weekly, right? So what happened here is that there was an order that came. You see the indecision candle almost matches this order to a penny. Like all of this was buying. So if they bought it and then they hit another seller right here at 103, I think this might bounce tomorrow. I just don't know. I don't trade it much to know the news around and what's happening. But so far, it seems like it's playing by the book. It had an inverted cup and handle here. Let me see what's going on in this one. 12% run. So you had 12% from here. What was it? 12.5. Okay, so that was the bottom of the shelf right there, 98. So that was a good shorting level. I honestly think it might run. Let me look at the daily candles. Yeah, I mean, this looks good for a potential run. I'm pretty sure. Kitchen, can you check, see if there's any FS on this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would think there's something here.
Sorry, I'm gonna mess up the stream for a second here.
Yeah, I would watch this level around 95 tomorrow for a potential bounce. So if we open tomorrow here and it breaks this right here, if it breaks 97, it's almost guaranteed it's going to about 100.
So there's nothing formed, but there's a bunch of 3 waves on the longer time frame, like 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month. And the 3 waves are to the upside, so you'll probably get a full send on the 4th wave, bearish on the higher time frames.
Maybe run up tomorrow to about 100, but lately they haven't been doing that. And I personally don't like to play earnings, unless I make quite a bit of profit, then I don't mind it. But this looks good. I mean, it's kind of like a demand zone, falling wedge right into a demand zone. If it comes back to 95, it might not be bad to, swing some. I don't know how much are the 100 calls, but it might not be bad if you make decent profit tomorrow to swing some
Oh,
kind of
it's
lottery play.
ER is a pre-market tomorrow.
Oh yeah, forget about it. Yeah,
Options
forget about
Addict
it. So,
just shared. Yeah.
they didn't even move it after hours, so yeah, I would not touch it. But that would be the levels I play. I was shorted below this level here, 92.42. I was shorted below that. And you could short it all the way to about $86. So $6 drop. You'll probably get a bounce at 191 here. You have a nice little small shelf. But most likely we'll go to 96 or 86, sorry. 86.78. So tomorrow, Moderna has ER. Wow. Oh, this is ready to pop. All right, let's see. Anyone wants to bet? Any betters?
I think Moderna had a full send.
Yeah, this one is about to pop.
Let me look at it really quick. I'm pretty sure it does.
They're going to send this one. There's rich people that didn't get to sell on time.
Which one you're looking at there, Shorty?
This is Moderna, mRNA.
So there is on the 3-year 1 week. Let me tell you. Well, so if you're going above the high of the previous candle, 149.10 is your entry.
Yeah, I could see that. There's a huge shelf here being created. They're loading the hell out of this one here. I mean, this is huge. If they lose this, which I doubt that they're gonna lose, they're gonna run this tomorrow. And this is pre-market. And then let's see, Marriott, Twilio tomorrow after hours. Let's see Twilio. Whoa! Wow, they sold the crap out of it. Man, that is brutal. Do you guys see where this came back?
Wow.
Hello, Kendall. How you doing? Look at that. Oh, it will never go back to $100, man. It's a $500 stock, right? How many people do you guys think said that?
A lot.
It'll never go back down. Yeah, sure, man. Here it goes. And look at that red volume when they started selling. Buy right here. Set the POC at 28, sell it at 500. Beautiful. Yeah, this looks pretty good for a potential bounce here. Would not be surprised if they do a market maker pattern here. Drop it to about 85 and then rip it. So we'll put 3 days on it. Get some fresh supply off of this guy. Yeah, it could probably go to 131. That'll be an interesting one. I should remember to watch this tomorrow. Fubo is Thursday. They beat the stock to pennies. I mean, look at this. 2 pennies. Oh. I mean, just when you think it can't go any lower, I don't know. It just keeps going lower. It would not be bad to get some, I don't know, maybe $7 calls. I don't know how much they are for like October. $8 calls for October. Would not be a bad idea. Twitter, I mean, you really want it over this level right here. Is it 5309? Yeah, once that breaks, you can take it. Oh God, it still looks, at least you have a channel now. It's just a lot of uncertainty, knowing that, you know, you have a crazy guy at the well now driving the whole thing, and he can do whatever the hell he wants. If it continues down, 4680 is going to be your bounce plate. Pins. That level is going to hold. Let's see, what else? Did we miss any important ones that we usually trade? NVIDIA, I think. Okay, NVIDIA is right here. Let's see, what did it do? After hours. Did it pop? Thought somebody said they popped. Oh, okay, it went a little bit.
I think Drew said it popped.
Yeah, it was just about $2. I mean, it has a, you know, over maybe even the pre-market high here, like 201.74. So what is that? I think that's my 68.1 fib here. We're still kind of bear flagging here, so a break below 195.59 would be considered a short side on it. Okay. All right. Unless you guys don't have anything else, Catching Rockets, all yours if you want to show some FS.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shorty. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Hey, Shorty.
For all ours now, Rockets.
Yeah, if you guys want in the Discord to switch over to my screen. Sorry, I got to get resituated here. I had to move stuff around during the stream. All right, so we'll start with SPX. This one I particularly like because we're right at the bottom of the weekly cloud. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but we have the snake cloud here, which basically lines up with our entry, and it also lines up with the top of the bottom of the weekly cloud here. I mean, it's a little bit above, but this is going to be a solid entry. I mean, I've gone over this with you guys on a video, but for full sends, I just draw my fibs. Oh, wait, this is moved actually. Oh, no, it didn't move. So based on the fib, the 382 level, our entry would be at 41.56. I would just call it 41.57. But I moved it up due to the cloud and the snake cloud here. I actually want the entry to be right above this snake cloud. So right around here, 41.86, 73. And then if we switch over to, sorry. Our POCs. So that was, sorry. Entry at 41,000, 4,186.73. I'm never going to remember that. Bear with me. Sorry. So let's see where that lines up on our chart here. Yeah. So you have a good entry here based on the clouds and the snake cloud. Might be a little bit safer to wait for, you know, above all these wicks at basically 4,200. Once this goes, we should run up to this VPOC here. Sorry, that's not quite straight. At 42.88. So we should get a good move off of this. Again, we have a pretty good entry here at 41.86.73 from the clouds. Safer entry is going to be at 4,200 and played up to 42.88-ish. So that's going to be SPX. And then see what else we got here. Wow, why is it loading so slow? Oh yeah, this one's based on the monthly 10-year 1-month chart. So if we draw on our fibs, you can see our entries right there. 129.63. Let's take a look at the clouds. Yeah, so this is right. Oh, these are open. I thought they were closed, but coming right out of the monthly cloud, the top of the bottom of the monthly cloud, you do have, you know, your weekly cloud here. If you wanted to get a safer entry, I don't worry about this too much because with the full sends, they just generally go. It doesn't really matter. Oh, I love having snap.
Is that the one you said to take 6.3 135 calls over 129.63?
I'm sorry?
That's TTWO, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one you said over 129.63 take 6.3 135 calls?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So we do have the top of the weekly cloud here at 135.99, but you know, coming through the weekly cloud, we might see a little bit of consolidation and volatility. But once we get through, you know, we should go to at least this middle snake cloud here at 154. So this should be a pretty good move. Let's take a look at our yeah, so this is nuts here. We have 3 POCs right here. Technically 4. This one's just slightly off, but yeah, right here we have 3 POCs and a VPOC. We have a VPOC here. Or actually, no, sorry, this is a POC. And then we have a VPOC up here. Oh, I wish you could snap to these lines in TradingView. So to the upside, we have a bunch of epochs, basically, because we've been in a downtrend on this. I don't remember exactly what I said the target was, 150 something, but right around here somewhere. I think it was 153. I'm sure all of you know, though, I'm a day trader. I'm not a swing trader, so I'm not looking for this full move. But yeah, just going over these really quick. So our entry was, let me see, 129.63. So yeah, we're getting in. I mean, technically, you could probably take it at 126.50. Where are we getting in here? Might be the high of this candle, which is actually a good entry as well. It's right in the middle of this candle. This might actually be even a better entry, 126.50. Oh, wait, we had the clouds there. Sorry. I'm a little flabbergasted. I don't do this live too much. Yeah, I would wait till 129.63. Sorry. Just based on the clouds. Next, we have QQQ. I don't know, unless FMOC and Biden say something that makes this move. I'm not expecting this to trigger tomorrow. Our entry's at like 325. But it's based on a, God, I don't know why these are loading so slow today. It's based on this 10-year, 1-month chart. So when this does finally go, we should get a pretty good move out of it. Whoops. So yeah, over 324.56. And let's take a look at the clouds. So you can see we have the monthly cloud down here. The weekly cloud, the top of it is at 322.55. So, you know, actually even a retest of the top of the weekly cloud would be a good entry here. So if we cross above 322.15 and come back down, retest and bounce, this will be a good entry. If you want to go with the full send entry, that one's good as well, over 324.56. Target's going to be this snake cloud here at 342.13. Obviously, like the complete move is going to be top of the weekly cloud here, which is actually open. It's closed. So right there at 380. You know, this will take a while to play out. If we look like, so from here, since these are monthly clouds, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 or 5 months from the top to the bottom. So probably take a good, you know, 5 to 10 months to go from the bottom to the top here. I'm trying to see where our entry is. 324. And then what did I say was a good entry based on the retest of the cloud? 322.15. Yeah, so for me, I'm good with either of these entries. I'd like to see it actually above these wicks before you hop in. 322.86. The full send entries work. The only time I really move them is based on clouds, and this entry lines up right with the top of the clouds, so we're good. You know, you're going to expect, we have a pretty decent P-shaped volume profile here, so you're going to expect some kind of resistance here at 327. But for a day trade, this is more than good enough. Yeah, so that's that one. And then next we'll look at Microsoft. I think this one is based on the 1 week. There's a full send on the weekly and the monthly. Oh no, it's based on this one. Monthly chart. So over 287.30. Let's take a look at the clouds. So our weekly bottom is 271.19. So this entry's, you know, well above that. Where is Microsoft right now? It's at 281. Because we could also look at the entry off of this weekly candle. This is, oh no, this is too low. 278. You know, so we'll probably see some resistance right at this snake cloud here. 299, you know, 300 psychological level. Our upper monthly cloud is closed. So is the weekly, which is above here. Monthly's here. Right now our monthly is at 316.65. So you'll see major resistance here at basically 300, 299. And we're definitely going to see a rejection unless the clouds open up here at 316.65. Let's hop over to TradingView. $287.30. Yeah, actually, this is a great entry here off this candle. Might struggle here at 289. After that, should run here to 298. Yeah, and these line up pretty good with what the clouds were showing us. Let's look at the VPRV. VPVR. Yeah, this is beautiful. Our entries here, we have a skinny belly.
You said 289?
287.30 is our entry.
Sorry. 287.
Actually, let me
Thank you.
switch over to day candles. I know earnings is coming up as well. We've got to be aware of that. Let's see, where's earnings? Oh, it's not till July. Never mind. So yeah, you can see on our volume profile here, we've got a nice skinny belly. It kind of starts at like 289. Our entry is still good at 287.30. Up to about 298. Yeah, you know, like I said, we'll probably see that, you know, resistance around that psychological level at 300. So this should be a nice play. This is all free space here where it should just fly. So don't sleep on that one for sure. I mean, all of these where we're like right at the weekly bottom clouds, bouncing out of them, they're gonna move good once they do go. Let's look at the next one. It's Marvel. This one's been building up for a while. I've been watching it. I actually, I was watching it for probably a week before I finally posted it, because the level was so far off that it wasn't even, wasn't close. Excuse me, wasn't close enough to triggering, and so I wasn't worried about it triggering. I still think we're a little ways off.
Rockets, I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
On the Microsoft, that's gonna be a daily thing, right?
I mean,
The calls, or
so
are you swinging it?
I'm not a swing trader. You know that, Angel. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a swing trader. So I'm always like, if I'm up 30% and it starts to reverse, I'm going to take my profits and get out. If I'm up 100% and I start to see a reversal, I'm going to take my profits and hop out. So,
Okay.
I mean, it absolutely could be a swing trade, but you're going to be holding it through ups and downs and through some pain. But if you look at full sends, you know, like, well, that one didn't actually work. This one was tiny from 1149 to, oh, it's not tiny, 1670 basically. So like a 5-point move. You know, you have to give it time. It'll go. But but yeah, me personally, I'm always going to grab my profits and run.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. This one, my entry must be based on the clouds because this doesn't line up with the fib levels. Yeah, and it does not. My entry must have moved on this one. Hang on one second, guys. Or I drew fibs on the wrong candle. Yeah, I drew fibs on the wrong candle. Okay. This one, our entry is going to be from Marvel. It's going to be at 62.83. And I think this one, like I said, I've been watching it for a few weeks. It should finally trigger tomorrow. Our clouds, you know, if you were able to get it on a retest here, this would be great. Down at like $58, $58.50. But we should have a good move up to like $67, and then our clouds are closed. This is the monthly cloud, is closed here at $76. Let's hop over to TradingView and just take a look. So our entry is 62.83. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. We do have a VPOC here. 63.25. This one, it should run. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, if you want to be more conservative, the better entry might be here at like 63.50. After you get past this volume shelf and this VPOC here. 63.50 should run to 66. Skinny belly here, and then we have another skinny belly from 66 to 68. So looks good. Next we have DWAC. Which is this based on? This one actually might be, let me see. This level is either moved or not valid anymore. $46.60, $46.90, and then this is based off the 30-day 4-hour. Let's take a look. This level, it might even just trigger pre-market. We can't look at the clouds because DWAC's still new. Out of all of these, DWAC's the one I'm like the least excited about. What do we say? 46.90. Yeah, I mean, full send doesn't really lie, but I'm not loving it just like looking at it, but definitely over $50. It's got some room to go, but other than that, I'm not a huge fan of this one. And then we'll look at our last one, which is actually pretty sweet in my opinion. Amazon. So we have a full send on the 10-year 1 month chart. Entry is 2611. I would round up to 2611.50. But there's some interesting stuff to look at. The clouds. So you're going to have the weekly cloud. Basically, taking it here, you would be entering halfway through the weekly cloud. Weekly cloud ends at 2671.50. I've played full sends that are inside the clouds, and it doesn't really, they still run. But what I like about Amazon is basically right at our trigger, we have the weekly pivot at 416.19. So that might be a better entry. You know, like you're over 2,614.20, because we might reject here off the weekly pivot. But again, like full sends, I don't know, they just tend to hit no matter what's in the way. We'll peek at it really quick on here. I don't know what this level is. $46.14. Yeah, based on our volume profile, we have a nice skinny belly there. Has room to go. It'll probably go up to like 2,700-ish. Almost 2,800, right around there. 2,780 would be a good target. Anyway, that's going to be it, everybody, for the full sends. Yeah, that's all. Have a good day, everybody, or good evening. Good luck tomorrow with your trading. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you guys have questions?
Good night.
Huh?
No, I was just saying thank you.
Oh, no worries. I'm sorry. I should have said if anybody has questions, let me know. Let me check YouTube as well. I haven't looked at the chat in a while. I might kill this name. Sorry if I do. At Jourdain. Yeah, so there's a Discord. It's Orbit. It's pretty small and exclusive. We keep it small because the focus is education, not calling out plays. I mean, plays do get called out, but it's a small Discord, like 200 people, and the focus is education. Anybody else before I take off? Oh, and Jourdain, I don't know. Like, you can reach out to me on Twitter. same name, Catching Rockets, or if you have me on a Discord server, you can always DM me, and we can discuss it if you want to. All right, looks like that's it. All right, have a good evening, everybody. As always, much love. Take care. Bye.
Good night.